So how did you arrive to me? I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, how did I arrive to you? How does anyone arrive to your music? Um, in 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 the celebration of life, in the depths of disaster, in the moments of chaos and journeying into myself. Yeah, all of that and the above.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, no, I don't know when I arrived at your music. Maybe it was around 2020. Really,
Mm,
I think that time, and then been journeying through Hymn to the Soul for ever since, and I play it at the end of every DJ set I do. So
wow.
yeah, the podcast. I've got musicians on before. I love. I think it's so important. Like it's so important with. I'm sure there's some overlap in the spaces that we're a part of, which I would love to talk to you more about. But yeah, there's a need for myself to notice musicians and to notice the journey and the contribution they make to all of our lives. And that doesn't have, from what I observe, it doesn't have much emphasis on as it should in
Mhm,
our culture.
mhm,
Different in other parts of the world, perhaps, but in England, the music that's coming through that helps us all connect and come together. Like, wow, we need to be money is the transaction often and like really putting our money in the hands of the musicians when we can and
mhm.
it's a big thing that's become a big value of mine over the last couple of years because I recognize how much of a dedication of time and effort and resource it takes to you know be you. You know,
Oh,
you could tell me more, I'm sure. Like a big part of your work and your identity is in healing. So I'd love to get like what healing really means for you. Like what does that encapsulate for you?
hmm. Wow. Beautiful question. Um, I love being asked these questions that actually make me think how to convey what is healing. That's actually a really good question. I would connect it with probably when we are connected to the wisdom within us, the wisdom that aspires for harmony, for well-being, for health, for fulfilling our, if to big words, mission,
Mm,
our potential, our humanity. And so for me, healing is, yeah, is when all these things come together. Um, as an opposite, maybe when we are disconnected from ourselves. Um, yeah, not walking our true nature or true path. And what is that is another huge question. But for me, healing is more when I see it energetically, when things come together and almost like molecules coming together, and then the tree grows, like if we think, or the flowers. And I see the same for us humans, is when things come together and we are in our nature, in our flow, in our well-being. Then yeah, I can see this movement on us, and then we
mm,
shine and we create and we do good to ourselves, to our families, to the world. Yeah.
yes, so good to give, so good to receive. When we're in that that really defines the
Mm,
journey. When it feels good, I think we know it when it's there. Like it's like a remembrance, a real like understanding. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't need those things. I didn't need those. And often I find it's like removing all the things that we think we need or actually just like dissolving or just moving the blocks out the way to just be in that.
mm,
It's a
yeah.
great quote that I love, which is don't go looking for love, remove everything that's blocking it.
Mm, so
Cause
beautiful.
yeah, cause you're it. Like when did this start illuminating to you then? Cause I mean your debut album was what, like 2019, which is like not that long ago. So like
Yeah, I mean, that depends in which terms
how
we're
you
looking.
define it, sure.
As a musician, I think it's a long time, but I mean, for me, the road started probably when I was born, but really
Hmm.
starting to walk this path of love and healing is beginning of my 20s, which is like, yeah, 25 years ago. Um, yeah, and then the music arrived and the songs and a lot of ceremonies. And I think I was already doing it much, much before anyone knew about it because my attention at that time was not, to show it in the world, So I've been ceremonying and working with vocal and people since so many years.
Mm-hmm.
And it started for me, I mean, yeah, somewhere at the beginning of my 20s. I was always drawn to, yeah, to theater, to yoga, to expression, to the moment. That's something that always, yeah, I was drawn to what's happening now, even when I was, very, very young. Um, and I think through meeting the plant medicines, something really kind of um, just opened wide. And it wasn't necessarily only an easy journey. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, hi. It was also, yeah, also was painful about feeling that I'm back home after many years I was not home. So it was like a real birth with all that it means. Um, and then I feel I was just guided by my heart or by the divinity. And from there, just my path was, yeah, it was just happening. So the medicine was calling me, the music, um, a very special energy that I think I received or had the luck to touch in those, in this opening was, yeah, something really special about the moment, the sound, the listening, the silence. So it was almost like I was shown how to move in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, yeah, and then everything unfolded, with the ups and the downs, and finding out more and more, um, my gifts and just the universe. And I mean, I have so many things. I don't know if you want to guide me a little bit into where, in which part to share, but yeah, this is how I maybe started my path.
Yeah, I love leaving it open just to see where people end up because it's magical how it all unfolds and the tangents that we go on. But yeah, I'm happy to. I love the thing you shared there about like when you do start to flower or bloom or like come into yourself, like there's a recognition that oh, this hasn't been there. And then oh oh no, it's like, oh, okay, now I have to grieve like a lot of times where I didn't show up for myself, where I wasn't there, where I wasn't present. Oh, this is presence. Oh, wow. And it just shines a big light on aspects of my life where I don't have that. And we can,
Mm,
sit in ceremony and feel all this incredible, like, felt experience, like being really present with what is. And then, yeah, it also illuminates. Shines a light on everything around us that is not that. And
mhm.
that can be a really tough process to go through, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
Um, so you grew up in Israel. I would love to understand a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I was born in the US to
Hmm.
Israeli parents,
Hmm.
and when I was two, um, we came back to Israel. I grew up kind of a normal life. I mean, divorced parents. Grew up with my mom. A little bit from going from places to places. Army, like did my all my childhood at this, and then army like everybody else.
Wow.
I almost didn't.
At what
Yeah,
age?
I almost. Sorry.
What age were you in the army?
Well, after high school, you go to the army in Israel, and I almost at the time my mom lived in New York, so I thought maybe I'll skip the army and I'll go study. And I was actually thinking I'm going to law and like down that road of studying in the academy. And then I did go to the army, and I guess from there all my life changed. Like yeah, towards the end of the army, I met a big love, and he was into music, so I started also to feel my musicality that was always there, but didn't really come out. And then the medicine arrived to Israel at that time, so it was like a big renaissance of for many people through the medicine with carioca and all that wave in the 2001, 2000 and yeah, something there. Um, yeah, and what else? I don't know what else to tell you.
Do you say karaoke?
Carioca is a big
Karaoke.
medicine man from Brazil.
Okay.
Not carioca,
Not karaoke.
not karaoke, carioca. So he's a big medicine man from Brazil that at the
Okay.
time was opening the door for many, many, many people from, let's
Mm,
say, my generation, to these, yeah, to these medicinal ways and musical ways.
wow.
And then I left Israel. I was studying theater at the time, and then I decided I'm going to Brazil and I'm going to start to, walk this path deeper.
Mm,
Um, and then I stayed over like Brazil, Colombia, New York for a few years, really deepening my ways into the music, into the medicine, studying music in New York, getting to know a lot of interesting people. Um, Already starting to work with people one on one to open voices and doing
mm,
little groups, and then the music just came through, which I think this was the biggest thing for me. Is suddenly all these magical songs, they just started to pour on me. So it was not like I was
mm,
never really a singer songwriter. I was very few of my songs were like, okay, I'm going to write a song now, and I took a paper and a pen and started to write an idea. Most of my songs, I was sharing once that I'm a song catcher. So if I'm in the right alignment with myself and with the divine energy, and my
mm.
my instrument, my whole instrument is tuned,
Yeah.
then I'm catching the right songs.
Yeah, I love that. It reminds me of, Carrie Tree.
Okay.
Yeah, she says she's a song carrier, which I get a lot. Maybe many musicians resonate with that. Like they're
Yeah, yeah,
carrying.
yeah.
Yeah. And once it like
Absolutely.
a song's born, you really are carrying it because it grows with you or like it takes different shapes and forms. And I can imagine like the journey you go on with the song
Yeah.
is is always different.
Yeah, it's such a special thing. So I feel I'm a song catcher, which means
Mm.
they're anyway there, and I happen to be with my basket in the right moment, and literally feel I catch them from the stars as they fall.
Wow. Does your basket get bigger or smaller or like does it
My basket is ever changing.
Yeah.
Um, it's really, I really realize that the more I'm in tune, which means I'm in well-being, in health, in joy, in
Mm,
not really a lot here, but then there is the bigger chance that I catch songs. But
hmm
but it's also, it's so random. It's really like grace. Grace is always there, and we're lucky if we manage to feel her. And with the songs, like one of my last songs, I was already in my pajama, ready to go to bed, and then I saw my small guitar, just my tiny little, um, guitar lele, and I was like, okay, I'll just before I go to sleep, I'll just, 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, and clack, arrived an amazing, beautiful song that is going to be part of the new album. But so it's never really also predictable.
Yeah.
It can be, yeah, just the most random moment of PJs and before sleep.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's times that they don't come that easy, right?
Totally. But also, I'm not dealing with it in a way, it's not, oh, shall I get new
Yeah.
songs? It's like
It's not
life.
it's not
Suddenly they're
yeah, it's
there.
not about you so much.
No, in a
Yeah.
way, no. I mean, of course, there are moments I'm like, oh, I wish I would,
hmm
now get new music or this, but I realized it's really not up to me. It's
Mm.
random moments where they just arrive, and and then you feel it. You kind because a lot of musical ideas arrive when you play. I play and I play with my voice and this. But when a song comes, you kind of feel it in all of your body. Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait, something is coming, and then maybe I'll take quickly my phone to record because otherwise I don't remember. But you kind of feel that something special is
Mm.
landing now.
Mm. Could you talk a little bit more about that like creative process and the like how you prep for that? Like, and this can kind of weave into so many different things, and it's why it's so universal, really, like that creative process to allow you to be a catcher, a channel for what wants to come through. So yeah, could you talk just a little bit more, even like details of how you kind of really prime yourself to be in that state to be fit to carry, to catch?
Mm, I think the first thing is, and this is also something I work with people, is to really be in tune with what is happening to you at the moment. Because we can play a lot and our mind is still, about what I'm going to do tomorrow or what I need to cook or
Mm,
this and that friend or my children or, like, so it's first of all a practice of how to really tune in the moment, which is my breath, my body, and then my feelings. And I think this is my entrance to creative process is just to allow myself to allow myself to be. So if there's a sadness in my heart, I allow it, and then I start to try to give it voice. And I'm with my guitar, like feeling my voice, allowing it to express itself. So that I
mm,
think is the first thing. Is really how can I allow life to just move through me with whatever it is there, with whichever emotion or sensation. So I think that that's the first entrance into the zone is really to be
mm,
wherever I am. I don't want anything more than me. And if I have a story inside or I'm in a little bit of, something, let's say, more challenging, then I express it vocally. So it's really how to land into the moment with all that it has. And I
mm,
think from there, then when I'm fully allowing myself and channeling it, singing it, moving it, and the more I'm like in the moment, then there is more and more chance that something there will happen because then I'm connected to the presence and the
mm.
present, and in the present there is divinity. And I think that's, yeah, it's how we land into the moment because there is so many distractions and thoughts and things that take us so much further from
Yeah.
this moment. And I feel when I really manage to let myself be here, and it's not always there, like, can take me a long time till I'm even, sitting to be in the moment. But
Mm,
once I allowed myself this space, like, how do I expand the moment, play around, allow myself to be playful? So it's really like an open space. Now I'm playful with whatever feelings, emotions. And usually I just on the guitar, and let my fingers go somewhere. And then something catches me.
mm,
Okay, I like these chords, this simple, I don't know, movement. And then I can start just to hum or just allow myself to start to make love in the moment with this thing. And gently. And then sometime something
mm-hmm.
um, unfolds through that. I think really it's this intimacy. And
Intimacy. So,
most of my tunes arrive like this. And
uh-huh.
then they develop. They develop either with me or when I sit for singing circles, rituals, concerts.
Mm,
Sometime I would, meet my audience and hey guys, this new tune is coming. Let's try to sing it together, and like I love this thing when it's almost like you throw the melody or the tune into the universe, a little bit opposite of anything we know because we think, oh, song needs to be perfect, before I'm going to take it out there. But sometimes I'm with my people, or my circles, and I'm like, hey guys, listen to this tune that came. Do you feel you have more words? And then, suddenly someone will throw a word, and some of my songs, really, some of their parts came through, these journeys with other people.
Mm.
So it's almost like we are a whole humanity making them happen.
It makes sense to me, even though this is our first conversation, that you'd say that because I see you whenever I see you out and about or in circles or creating events, it's like you're very much a part, or it just that has a flavor and an essence that you are co-creating with everyone, singing and just being. But then, yeah, like what I would assume one of your big values is community. It's like being in community and what it takes to be in community. And it just makes sense that that would be one of your pieces to the creative process. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love being in a community, or, yeah, in a circle. I love also my alone time. But
Hmm.
I'm a great believer that when we sit in a big group of people, like, there is magic. It's almost like, there is electricity, so either you use it or not. You know what I mean? And I feel the more we are sitting together, if all of us just realize that we sit in the now and we are vibrating, and then we take it to our voices, it's like, it's mind blowing,
Mm.
because it's we're all really fulfilling our own potential in that moment. And
Yeah.
people, they shine, they expand. You just see the room shine up and light, and that's, for me, yeah, something I love. I get a lot from it myself, and it
Mm.
talks to me more than, just to be a performer, which I came from this world of theater and love to be on a stage, and I love this feeling.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm less into, okay, I will perform to you my artistry, how you say it, artistry, and
Hmm.
then you will watch me. This is less. In a
Yeah.
way, I feel it's very old school. you know.
Yeah.
But in a great way. I love. There is so many artists that I
You,
really love
you
and
can be
admire.
young and still old school. It's okay.
Yeah. No, totally. But this thing, yeah, and I do love the performing arts, and there
Hmm.
are artists that I absolutely adore, and
Hmm.
but for me, it's more like, okay, it's more like I love thinking of it as a magician. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if we wouldn't all do it together, kind of a
Mm.
vibe.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. You'd just be on your own playing music, which is fine. It'd be very different. I often think about this with DJing and everyone's staring at me. I'm like I'm not doing much. Like I might be dancing, but like I'm not like, and I might inspire you to just, yeah, throw some moves, but ultimately play with each other. Like just be out there, like doing your thing and just listen to the music and connect. It's not about like, we never used to look at the DJ. Like the DJ was hidden in a club. Like back in the 70s, it was like way out the way. It was never about the guy or the woman DJing. And now it just is like
Mm,
ridiculously so. And I try and it's also I've not created any of this music. Like,
mm,
like I'm like, yeah, sure, I've spent a couple of days putting it together and that's creative and artistic at the same time. But ultimately it's about what you said. Like I want to be out there with everyone. Um,
totally.
yeah, that's so good. Okay. What about like I've got a burning question about like the Jewish influence of the music because
Hmm.
it's so present. So
Mm.
yeah, how's that woven in and
Well, I mean, first of all, I grew up in Israel. I'm
hmm.
Jewish.
Hmm.
I grew up in a totally secular family. I mean, a little bit on my father's side, which I didn't grow up with him, in the same house, but a little bit there. My grandfather was a little bit traditional, but more like holidays and stuff.
Hmm.
But from my mom's side, came from Germany, like totally, secular, you say? No, how do you say the opposite of religious? Um,
um
Forgot the name.
what agnostic or
Yeah, I mean, my grandfather from, yeah, Germans,
Uh-huh.
nothing to do with that. So I would say I started to reconnect to God actually, yeah, beginning of my 20s through yoga and then through the medicine world. So before
Mm,
that, I was very much in my mind also, hey, where is God? Show me God, you know? Um, and once I reconnected to what I, felt was God or divinity, I started to, yeah, reconnect with my Jewish roots, but really through my own discovery and curiosity. It's not really, none of it I really got back home.
mhm,
Um, and it was almost like a direct channel into, yeah, the Jewish wisdom, I would say, because I'm not a big fan of a few parts, of the religion, but like all religions. But the wisdom and the roots and the Hebrew and the letters, which I think are so, so mysteriously incredible.
mm,
This came to me with the plant medicines. This was the channel that I was plugged into. Um, And then one of my songs, Barechu, which is everybody sings it all over the world. I was in Brazil and I had the like Psalms, the book of Psalms next to me, because I was really just trying to get interested in it. So I was trying to read a little bit and feel the vibration and then one day I just opened it on this song, Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash, which means sing to God a new song. And
wow.
so yeah, my Jewish roots are really discovered by me.
Mhm.
It's nothing I came from home with. Um,
Would you say you moved away from it and then kind of reclaimed parts of it? Or what was that journey like? 'Cause I always think it's fascinating as collectively we're kind of understanding that the route back to ourselves is often can be through our lineage and a reconnection to the earth. So like how does one access that in such a fragmented state, I guess, like especially in like the lands that I'm from, like we don't really have much of a understanding of our roots. And it might be through Central America or like tribes in carrying these songs and music that we actually start to connect with those cultures that have like something deeply connected with the lands and the seasons and again back to what we were saying at the beginning it then shines a light on what we don't have.
mhm.
So yeah,
But actually, you're from the UK, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah, and I mean, such rich culture.
of
I
course,
mean, the Druids and the Celts. You say the
yeah.
Celts. Um, you have such amazing, and actually, I love my good friend Nick Mulvey, who's an incredible musician
Hmm.
um, from the UK. Actually, I really love how you can hear in his music that he's going back to
Yeah,
the English root um, with a lot of these
yeah.
stories. Um, so did I go? Look, growing up in Israel, you grow up in it. I was definitely not religious, and my family was not religious, but a lot of Israelis, like just non-religious people living the life.
Mm,
But we are in a mostly Jewish land, so that's kind of a given. So I
hmm,
don't know if I went away from it. I definitely went to India, yoga, then starting to read more these cultures.
hmm,
But then I think again in the beginning of my 20s, all this movement around plant medicines was in parallel also to many of us, let's say, the new spiritual new agey. A lot were starting to read Kabbalah, and to really go into a bit like in Sufism, so to go to the wisdom of the Judaism, and that was kind of common amongst
hmm,
the new agey vibes. So I don't know if I went really far from it. I think I actually reconnected to it because I was never very close to it. So at the time
hmm,
when I started to walk this path of spirit, it just appeared to me. Suddenly, I saw letters in my head and sentences, and like Hymnon La Neshama, hymn to the soul also. It just arrived, the Kol Neshama Ta'alelia. I don't know, I think my channel is plugged into this library.
Mm-hmm. And
And
which,
sorry, the beginning when I was starting to guide my own ceremonies, I was with a lot of the South American vibration. And until today, I'm working also with these energies, but very fast, I was like, okay, it's very important I know what is my pure channel because all of us can adopt many other ways.
mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, for sure. Kind of on this thread, what are you noticing? People are like realizing in your circles, in your concerts. Like, what is it that you notice with people? Like, what's the kind of missing thing, or the thing that most connects people to seek out these spaces?
um, so no, you had two questions. What do you think people realizing in the ceremonies, and what
Hmm.
makes them
Yeah,
seek?
it's kind of like, I don't want to say too much and fill it in for you, I guess. Um, the question is like, what do you think you're witnessing more, that people are coming to you, or your concerts, your spaces, and what are they realizing? Like, what are
Mm,
they, what is it helping them unlock, or like, what are they gaining through
mm,
through the
mm.
wisdom of the music, I say. However you want to answer that, there's really many ways you could.
Um, I'll let it pass through me naturally. I think first of all, um, with my music, I carry this, this energy of healing, like we said, or yeah, this a unique, a
Hmm.
unique vibration that comes with my music, and I think that already gives people um, a gate to touch. I sometimes I feel it's almost like I help people to open their the gate of their heart through my music, and that's already a place where people can feel a lot, especially if they're not used to this space where their heart is just like
Mm.
opening wide. And so there's a lot of tears. Sometimes I see people after 2 minutes, weeping because they're not really used to this vibration, which I need to remind myself sometimes because I think, this is like
Yeah.
so, natural. But I feel like last week I had a beautiful women like cacao ceremony, and one of the participants there, which was her first time, literally after 1 minute that I started to play, and everybody, most of them knew it, and they started this. I just saw her, full of tears because for many people it's a big remembrance of something that they forgot, either when they were very young or through life's, difficulties or adulthood, everything that makes us forget our essence.
Mm.
So I think that's the first thing I feel. Um, in parallel to this, I think my energy also, I'm really into encouraging everybody that we are perfect as we are. A little bit opposite of the Western achieve, 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 because it creates the many people walk in the world and feeling they're not enough. And that creates just that our light is dimmed. If everybody walks with this heaviness and mental patterns of I'm not good enough, I'm not good as them, And so I think in my spaces, it's also a lot about, you're perfect as you are just right now. And that also creates a lot of movement in people, a lot of emotions,
Mm.
because the space that I hold is also just like, it's okay. You can just be. You don't need to come and in my space or our space. You don't need to be anything that you're not. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't even need to be spiritual. You don't need. I kind of love to kick away all this extra baggage that that
Mhm.
comes with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you start to help people realize that within themselves?
How to what?
How do you start to help people realize that they are enough? Because I agree, it's one of the the biggest wounds of our time, that feel like we need to do something external to arrive somewhere where we will feel a certain way. and it comes down to all of our emotions are guiding the way, right? Like everything we do is really because of we want to feel, we want to really feel love. Maybe that's gaining it from someone else, so then we feel it in the moment, but then once it's left us, then what? Oh, we're empty again. So everything we do, you could boil down to like feeling that very thing, like feeling really worthy and um yeah, a state of love, a state of presence. And often the most horrible acts of that humans have done in that, you could say, they want to like feel that part of them that wants to feel um yeah, like significant, you know. They want to be seen for doing something. Um yeah.
Mm. That deserves a good breath.
Mm,
Yeah, I
yeah.
feel.
But it's not like an overnight ceremony achievable. Yeah, it might move the needle, but I feel it can be a life's work. It can be a life's work to really um because it's not linear, as we know. And
Yeah,
I don't think I ever arrive. It's a constant revisiting and daily practice of many different things, but like really allowing and just witnessing and observing and just noticing every time that I'm doing something because um, I'm in fear of, yeah, like not receiving the love. If I'm afraid of something, then that can often motivate me to do things that I don't actually are not conducive to loving myself or like getting my own needs met.
yeah. And it comes a lot to self-love and yeah, working on ourselves in a way of the more we love all the parts inside of us, the more we're feeling at home. And I think
Hmm.
that's a lot of the work for us, the Western people. I speak a lot in my work, in my yeah, when people come to meet me or to work with me, a lot about that we have to understand what is being Western because we really received one kind of education, one kind of upbringing that is definitely very far from what the Native American would, received, or the Buddhist, or cultures that are earth based, which means they still have a lot of, relationship with the elements, with the earth, um, which definitely help a lot of the symptoms that we have. Yeah, so anyway, what I'm saying is that I speak a lot about it in my work that we need to first recognize what is our, mechanism,
Hmm.
and to understand that our Western ways of thinking, they create these, ailments, symptoms that we need to deal with, like not to love ourselves. This is something the Buddhist will probably not even know what it means. I say probably, but this dealing with, I love myself, I don't love myself. Like, what do you mean? And this is something really first to understand our species. Okay, I'm Western, I grew up in this society, and from the micro, from, our own, family traumas, whatever is through our lineage, to the macro, to what's happening in the world today, to, technology, to where did we go? Everybody's in Instagram. So I'm a great believer also to a little bit, take in the eagle eye and see,
Mm.
okay, this is the mechanism. So how can we deal with it? What does it need? What
Mm.
does this special being needs? Because it's definitely different, which is another topic. Everybody goes to the Amazon to learn and learn and learn, but we have to understand that their medicine over there is also designed to help these people over there. So not necessarily everybody that goes and learns those ways, it's really what we need. It's
Mm.
another thing to understand, okay, what we need, the white person.
Yeah.
Yeah, does
What
that
do you?
make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. There's more there. I know. What do you think the consequence is of like going to a culture and receiving their medicine? What can be like a consequence of that? And yeah, could you just say a little bit more of like tuning into what your culture means for you and like the medicine for you?
Yeah, first I think it's amazing. I go and learn and learn a lot
Yeah.
and I think we always have to have this understanding that it's like the earth, an earth in one place is not what this earth would need in a different part of the world because it has different minerals, different and so it's not to the details what I want to say. It's more like to understand the principle of, like you said, we don't need to run always to a different culture
Hmm.
because it's good to learn, but then to come back home and to see what does this earth needs. Because some of these, rituals, they are designed for what these forests need.
Mm.
Okay, if I can say it like that. But us, the white person, the Western person, we have a lot of healing to do on the heart level, on the mind level, first of all, to understand that probably our mind is the one that needs the most healing, is to
Yeah.
heal this
Yeah.
separation mind.
Yeah. It's a relentless identity crisis. I see it as like
Yes.
how we relate to ourselves. Like you were touching on upon it then when you talked about yeah, the Western mind. There's a great book, Western Mind, Eastern Body or something, or Eastern Wisdom. But it's yeah, it's not like inherently wrong. Like we've just gone too far in that direction. You know, it's an extreme of being so up here and so cognitive. And the thing is, when I'm cognitive, I can rationalize everything and work my way out of my own predicament within the head, and it makes no sense ultimately because I'm so disconnected from my body, which means I'm so disconnected from the earth, which means crisis.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yes. I don't know. How did we even arrive here? I don't even remember what was the question.
this is the beauty of yeah, I guess chatting in this way. Yeah, it's true though. It's the identity crisis because how I relate to myself is how I relate to another, and if I'm if I'm doing that from a state of like um my ego is like yeah trying to it's conditioned or programmed to think in certain ways about who I am or what I think I am, which is separate, um, then that's another part of this, I guess, puzzle is that the separation that I don't consider myself as part of the, even our dictionary has the word nature, which means separate. And like some cultures, they're not even entertaining that as an idea.
Yes, totally. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'd love to use some time around voice though and activation of voice
Hmm.
because from what I've witnessed in events, retreats, when someone guides the space with voice and like it can be the simplest things, but there's always a very different men and women combined. Like there's a very different essence to the space and what magic unfolds. It just I've never seen it come how do I describe it? I've never seen like breath work or meditation or like, physical practices or dance or whatever the way in might be to access like deep emotion and just transformation, for lack of better words. When people guide through the voice, there just seems to be this completely different essence come through, and doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, there's this kind of like there's this depth
Hmm.
to it, and I don't really know. I've never not really figured out what's going on there, but I'd love to hold some space for like the voice
Hmm.
activation and what's happening, when we access like when we allow that to come through a little bit more.
To speak about it, you want?
Yeah, I'd love you
So
to,
much.
because I know it's part of your work, right? Where you
Yeah.
help people
Uh,
uncover this.
yeah. I mean, I feel the voice is the most unique like print that we have. Like everyone has a different, like fingerprint
Hmm.
or physicality. Then voice is like it's the most incredible thing because it's our own signature, and it's the way we connect from our, deep inner worlds to the outer universe. This is
Mm.
the way we connect these two. Like your inner world, what's going on in your mind, heart, all these thoughts, feelings, and how you bring it out to the world, to connect, to communicate, to express yourself. So that
Mhm.
already is incredible. If we would see it in like a 3D kind of AI, so it's like all the notes you have in, and then how to bring them out of this, thing that is between you and the world. So that's already incredible. So ah when we express this, which is actually a breath singing, because we have to breathe to create sound, to bring it
Mhm.
out. So it's this magical way of bringing our deepest signature into the world. And then music, I mean, music is nature. So like the trees move and the wind is making a sound, each one of us have a very, very unique sound. And when we start to, massage our voice and vibrate and create the freedom to actually express it, there is biggest magic is happening. And this is why it's touching also so many emotions. Because for many of us, the voice is connected with childhood, with our deepest wounds, with our deepest dreams, desires. Um, and for all of us, music is kind of the language of God. So suddenly, when we allow this godliness to move through us through music,
Mm.
it's very, very heart moving and touching. And the way I work with the voice is just to create a lot of freedom. So more and more, it's a bit like what you said in the beginning. So it's um, more than actually teaching people how to sing, is more to, clear and clean
Mhm.
everything that is between us and our voice, which is like, thoughts, patterns, judgments. So people start very much like this, and in the end they're like, like just singing and moving, and you can actually really see it as energy, you know, when you see a space and you, not look so sharply, you kind of try to see it. You can see if people are, tight, or then you can start to see, when there's like everything starts to move, and that's what happens when people start to sing. The light starts to move, life force is moving. And this is
Mm.
really what I feel is so touching, is because we allow the life force to move through us. We allow ourselves to be life force. And everything is that is between us and being a life force is actually just our head. So the more, we release everything, then suddenly people, oh my God, I was in a different dimension. Because everybody sings and you can feel the voices and hear them and see them, and make love with this energy. It's very tantric also.
Mm.
And suddenly people open their eyes and like, oh my God, where was I in the last, I don't know, 2 hours? Because in the beginning you sit there and you think, oh, these people, me, everything, that creates all these boxes and separations. And then in the end, you see, I don't know, 50 people, 100 people, 300 people, 500 people just sing together and create what I believe was in the old times, the temples. Also, the Jewish temple, they speak about, 100,000 people together singing. So all the places where we connected to the divine were through song. And the Christian also, and Christianity, in the Islam, the Judaism, Buddhists. The Buddhists, they chant all day. Like, it's like sound.
Yeah.
And only us were like, like just banging our heads all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just speaking in kind of one way.
Yeah. Do, 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 do. Ah. So we do a lot of in my work, and that's already which is
Y-
the same energy we spoke. Just be feeling good, feeling at home.
Mm. Yeah, could you guide us through a little practice? I don't know, just something like simple people could
Sure.
join
I
in
bring,
on.
I bring my guitar for a moment.
Yeah,
You, you wait for me a second.
yeah, go for it.
So we can start to just breathe. So when we breathe the exhalation, we just try to release it. So not really to control. Soft. Ha, he, ha. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yo, 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 yo. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Ooh, doo, 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 yeah, doo, 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 doo. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Ha, da, 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 da. Ha, da, da, dee, 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 dee. Ha, he, dee, dee, dee. So we can, yeah, go like ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ooh, 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 doo, 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 doo. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Ooh, doo, 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 ee, dee, 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 dee. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 yo, 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 yo.
Beautiful. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah, it's so interesting when like I really go into that side of my brain and I'm just it really is that. It's just like activating like like, like taking a substance
Yeah.
and it turning on and off parts of your brain, which is
Amazing.
essentially the chemistry unfolding in my brain. And yeah, what it allows access to is just mm,
So beautiful.
if I allow it. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's beautiful. Thank you for that. That was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And just something so simple, you know, like a real just to go there with the voice and just to really start experimenting and playing with different melodies, harmonies, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it's the best. It's the best medicine. And I love working with people. I
yeah,
do the groups and also yeah, like online, which started from COVID, which is yeah, it's also beautiful.
mm,
It's just beautiful to see people yeah, open up and feel good. I'm I guess that's yeah,
mm,
that's what motivates me is also just to see people shine.
mm. Yeah. I remember. I think Sam Lee told me. Don't know if you know him
Yeah, it's so
in England.
beautiful.
You might do. Yeah. He said that English people were the singing people. That was what we were called.
Really amazing.
apparently, and a long, long time ago, because obviously there's such depth and richness in music here, and song and folk, and like people used to just sing,
Hmm.
cutting their heads. You're like, just doing daily chores. Everyone had a song.
Oh, beautiful. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and yeah, like it really makes me feel, even when we do a practice like that, that I'm like, wow, realizing that I don't do that enough.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
with me every moment of the day. I don't really
Mm.
need so much.
But it's so easy, like when you wash your dishes, you can sing. And it's just to
Mm,
start from the even just to vibrate inside. Because basically, also, the only one that can vibrate inside of you is you with your voice. That's
mm,
it. Like nobody can do it. We can get massages and people can move a bit or but to really actually vibrate inside your organs, your belly, your chest, your liver, your kidneys, move everything there, actually have the access there, it's our voice.
mm.
Only you can do
What's gonna what's what do you think's gonna spread that even further? Like, what's gonna help people? What do you think? So you're gonna help people start singing more? Like, is that a big mission of yours to like just to allow people to find their voice? Yeah, I'm sure it is, but what's going to help people get there, do you think?
Remember, just to
Mm,
remember. It's definitely our nature. Like we are a singing being, definitely. And people need to remember that and be touched again by the music of life. It's like everybody went so cerebral, cerebral, cerebral. If it's even so cerebral to say cerebral. And yeah, that just yeah, I think we just forgot a little bit, and I think remembering is a good word.
yeah, anything that we haven't covered that you want to speak to? Like, is there any other?
I mean, just to say that I'm working on my new album, and it's going to be ready
Yes.
in a few months, and it's really, really exciting.
Mm, yeah, amazing. What's
Uh,
it called?
New songs. It's a surprise. It will come soon.
I did I did see a song of yours. Is it I Feel
I
something?
feel the light. Yeah, this
I
is
feel the
came
light.
a couple months ago. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Amazing.
gospelly
And
kind of. I
and you're
feel the light. I feel.
love it. So this year you're doing an event in Portugal, I believe.
Yes, I have my beautiful retreat. That's with beautiful rituals and a lot of music and breath work and yoga, and it's called Agradeço, which means I'm grateful, like
Hmm.
my first album. Yeah, and it's amazing and it's happening. We have beautiful people coming, and
Hmm.
last year we had Aware coming to close it, and this year still finalizing another beautiful music for the end. I'm there with all my amazing musicians,
Hmm.
holding the space, and yeah, it's amazing. Last year we were 60 people,
Wow.
and yeah, I think it will grow and grow. It's like my new dream of
Mm,
how we can have. It's 5 nights, so there's a lot of time, which is what I feel all of us really need. Is more time actually
mm.
to journey and to have time to integrate. And yeah, thanks for asking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Amazing. Where can people find out more about you? You have your website. Was it Laor Music?
laormusic.com,
Uh,
and I'm Laor Music on Instagram, Facebook,
mhm,
and yeah, people are super welcome to connect with me, to to listen to the music in Spotify. It's Laor in one word, and yeah, and I do many things from the ceremonial concerts to rituals to one-on-ones. I also do mentorship for some special people that want to learn these ways
mhm.
um, of heartfulness, music, healing, um, medicine path. So yeah, I do many things. I'm very happy, and I'm a mother for two gorgeous children, and I live in Ibiza. So my life is all in all, I'm very grateful.
Love it. Agradeço. And if I was to meet you in a year from now, what would you love to tell me had happened in your life this year?
The new album came out. It's a huge success. Literally, like spread it all over the world. People are touched and in tears and in love and in bliss. The retreats are, happening, growing.
Mm,
The gatherings, the beautiful festivals that I come to share my music. Um, yeah, the mentorships, the private events, all of them are going incredible.
mm,
Um, yeah, in search for a land, maybe with a temple of our own,
mm,
where that's another vision to have, you know, the land with the temple and the music studio. So more and more to use the time to really do everything that I love.
mm.
And what else? And there is peace all over the world, and everybody's wonderful and happy, and money is distributed everywhere in an equal way, and the kids are happy, and all the children of the world have food and shelter, and that's in a year from now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I see it. Great. We'll put in the date when you can tell me. Amazing.
Oh,
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to just share these.
oh, for me too, Chris. You're such a sweet soul, and I'm very grateful that you reached out to have a conversation. And I hope it arrives to people and yeah, open something
Yeah, I'm
so
sure it will. Yeah.
we can the gift can travel.
Mm, yes. There's many